Disclaimer, buckle up. This episode of Three Friends and All the Things is packed with foul language, inappropriate comments, and even some streaking. If that's your jam, then welcome to the circus. Let the shenanigans begin.
Speaking of planes, did anybody watch the Chicago crossover last night?
No, don't tell me. I'm waiting. I got that all planned.
Yeah, don't tell me because I got through 2 out of 3 parts and I
question,
haven't
which
finished
one's
it yet.
first? Because I never watch all 3.
Okay, so on this crossover, it starts with fire.
Okay,
Then
so
it goes
Chicago
to
Fire,
Med.
then it goes Chicago Med, then it goes Chicago PD. Right.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Colleen, do you watch any of these shows?
No.
Well, you better take
Okay.
a hobby.
I tried watching Nashville 911, but in the first episode, they were climbing scaffolding to set up a winch during a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so
silly.
It was so silly that I just couldn't lend any. Like, I'd rather watch fantasy.
You gotta watch
that bad.
Now, Chicago Fire, I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is about this. I watched it and I got hooked and I'm like, oh my God. And I've been watching Med for ages. But they do the Wednesday night and they usually start with Med, then go to Fire, then they go to PD, right? Well, last night, after a 2-week hiatus, they have this massive crossover where all 3 shows are combined into one. And it's a 3-hour-long episode, but you have to, like, I watch it on YouTube TV, so mine starts and I have to get out of one and go back into another. But it replays the last, 5 minutes and it just continues on. But on TV, it just keeps going into, a whole big thing. It's, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Welcome to Three Friends and All the Things podcast, the show where filters go to die, opinions fly free, and laughter is basically a full-time job. They're not here to solve the world's problems. They are here just to make each other laugh and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. This is Three Friends and All the Things podcast, real talk for real people.
Welcome to a new episode of Three Friends and All the Things, Parents versus Parents today. Hello, folks.
Hey.
Yeah.
It is Chris, Dave, and Colleen back at you. Parents versus Parents tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, you want to start this
Who
off,
wants to kick this off?
You kick it off. I like your kickoffs better than my kickoffs.
You like my kickoffs? Okay, well, after the day I've had, someone's going to get a kickoff. I can tell you that right now. Okay. So we're talking about parenting and the differences between when we were growing up and parents of today. So I would like to start with, first of all, we had no technology growing up. There were no iPhones, there were no Androids, there were no cell phones, period. I think my first cell phone was when I was 20, because that's when they first came out. And the phones were the size of a brick and the phone plans were uber expensive. One call was like $7.
And you had an antenna that went from New Jersey to China.
Correct. Right?
Do you remember the shoulder strap?
Yeah, you needed a sunroof to put the antenna up.
Yeah.
My friend's first phone was an actual bag phone.
Yeah.
Like a real live. That was her first phone. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember them. And so, when we were growing up, it was literally the sun came up, you went out with your friends, especially in the summer, you were out with your friends, you were going all day. Maybe you came home to get something to eat. Maybe you came home to go to the bathroom, because a lot of times, if you're closer to your friend's house, you stop in your friend's house and go to the bathroom.
We grew up in Atco. We were in the woods. There was no nests.
In the woods. We used to play army with BB guns and shoot each other.
Yeah. And you did not come home until it was time for dinner. And you knew what time you had to be home. You would go out. I used to leave notes on the table, going out, blah, blah, blah. There were no phones. You couldn't call me. I'll be home at such and such a time.
Yeah, you're better than me. I know I left notes.
Well, you know the reason why I left notes? I'll tell you the reason why I left notes. Because I used to sneak out of the house. Or my dad would be asleep on the couch and my mom would be at work or something, and I would just leave a note and leave. because otherwise it was like, 75 questions from my dad. Well, where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you going with? What time are you going to be home? I don't want to hear it. So I would quietly stay
Listen,
downstairs.
I trained my parents early that those
Mhm.
questions were futile.
Did you guys?
Right.
Did you both go to
Yeah.
Catholic school?
Yeah.
Yes.
hmm I remember my mom came home one time. I was up in the bathroom getting ready, smoking a cigarette, had a little a sea foam green plastic seashell as my ashtray.
Was it down by the seashore?
No, this is an Atco. Spraying Aquanet like it's going out of style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put the net up,
I know I
Colleen.
got it,
Catch
smart
that, will you?
ass. Listen,
Jesus.
so she comes home. I'm upstairs spraying Aquanet with a lit cigarette in a plastic ashtray. Right? No one's supposed to be home. I'm supposed to be on my own before I head out to the party. And she says,
And when the house
Where-
goes up in flames, this
Yeah.
is when we call
From a
Snuff a
plastic
Ride
seashell
and
and
Firehouse
Aquanet.
51.
Perfect
Yeah.
example
so
of
she says,
fire.
where are you going?
Hmm.
And I said, I'm going to a party. And she said, no, you're not. And I said, okay, I'm going to the movies. Like, which one do you want to hear? Because I'm still going.
Which one do you want to hear?
I trained them early.
Was this on a school night or was this in the summer?
It was during the school year, but it was on,
Okay.
I think, a Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
Because again, we grew up in Atco and went to high school in Cherry Hill.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to see our friends before we got a driver's license or a car, we needed a ride to
Yep.
Morristown or Medford
Yep.
or
Voorhees.
Collingswood, or at least to the speed line. Did you ever get dropped off at the speed line to go
Million
visit your
times.
friends?
Actually, speaking of speed lines, let me jump into this topic of speed lines.
Yeah.
One time we went to the speed line, my buddy and I, and
One time in band camp.
yeah, and I had to
And
change.
this one time at band
So-
camp, Dave went to the speed line.
So there was 3 of us, and I had changed. Nobody else did. So we're like, fuck this, we're jumping over the rail. So I jumped over the rail. He jumped over. Friggin' RoboCop jumps there, sees us. He throws us all up against the thing, arrests all 3 of us, puts us in the back of his car. He ain't even a real cop. He's a rent-a-cop. And my buddy's,
Oh my God.
wait, it gets better. So my buddy's dad is the chief of police at Winslow at the time. So he's like, dude, you know my dad's the chief of police at Winslow Township right now, right? He's like, yeah, well, that's even better. Yeah, because now I'm going to call him. We'll make him come get you. And sure enough.
Yeah, that's
he
not
didn't-
going to go the way you think it is.
We didn't know he was working. His mom had to come get us. And all the way home, all I heard was, little David Bagasse, you were the only one that had change and you jumped the fence too? Shame on you. Wait until your mother hears this one. So that's the kind of parenting that we had
What's
back
the
then.
point
Because
that
if you
she
went to
took out of
somebody,
that?
hold on, if you went to somebody's development and you were bad, the neighbors knew who you were. They'd stick their head out. I'm calling your mother. Here, these bastards get pampered. They're pampered
Ugh.
bastards is what they are. They wear diapers.
100%.
They wear diapers until they're 30. They can't wipe their own ass. You gotta lay it out for them in their script because they can't read English. You know what I'm saying? And everything you
Well,
say
and
to them,
they
gotta
have
Google.
feelings, Dave. They have feelings that need to be
I
acknowledged.
don't care about their feelings. Flush the
And you
feelings
need
in
to
the toilet.
sidestep their feelings. You need to change your
No, I'm
life
not checking
to
myself. You see
circumvent
this
their
right here? I'm
feelings.
not changing nothing.
Mm-hmm. Listen, our generation, we took those feelings, we stuffed them
In
into
our-
a little tight
Yeah,
ball,
damn right.
and we shoved them deep down into our gut.
Or your parents
took
shoved
up
them right up
drinking.
your wakuki. Or as you would say, your hookah. A hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
That is
It's a
not what we were
hoo-ha.
talking about.
It's a hoo-ha.
Whatever.
Get it right.
Whatever.
Good Lord. Speaking of hoo-has, I had a doctor when
Jesus,
I was in
Mary.
Australia. No.
We're supposed to be doing
I had a
parents
doctor
versus
in
parents on
Australia.
this episode.
No.
go ahead.
Listen. I had
Go
a
ahead.
doctor in Australia, and he was just a general practitioner, but his name was Dr. Hoo Hoo.
Well, great. There's perfect.
I am not even kidding you. Okay, that's my hoo-ha story.
All right.
Okay, so
Listen,
Back
now
to
hold
what we were
on.
saying. Go ahead,
I
Colleen,
worked
finish your
in
story.
OBGYN, and one of the doctors I worked for was Dr. Bush.
that's
God.
amazing. I love that.
Yes, that was
And
awesome.
I
we
love
just
that.
keep going further and further away.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay. So
gross.
back to parenting. Like, who named their OBGYN son Dr. Bush?
Well,
But
there's
no,
that.
in all fairness, our parents were just coming out of the recession in the 80s, right? So life was not easy back then. You know, my dad was a welder, so he's a blue collar worker, and you took work wherever you can. He ended up working in Canada for a few years because that's where the work was. There was nothing
Right.
here.
Mhm.
So having present parents involved in every aspect of your day-to-day life wasn't a thing that happened back then unless you were a stay-at-home parent or kids that were involved in sports.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Their parents seemed to be more involved than the general gist of the general set of the parents. But we learned independence. We learned to soothe ourselves. We learned to face reality. We learned disappointment. We
Yeah.
learned how to lose.
It was called survive.
And I think that's one of
You had
the
to
biggest
survive.
things that today's kids are missing. They don't know how to lose.
No.
Correct.
No.
And that changes your perspective, that sense of entitlement that I should always get a trophy because I
Mhm.
showed up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they call them.
That's not the way the world works.
No, that's
No.
known
And
as the
I think that's
helicopter
the biggest
parent.
disconnect of today.
Yeah, that's the helicopter parent.
You're right.
That's the parents that
Yeah.
want to hover over their kids and make sure their kid gets every nook and cranny of what they think they deserve, and they don't want to
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
their
and
kid
I
face.
understand wanting to give your kids better and be there because your parents weren't there. I get that, but when you're crippling them to make you feel better about yourself,
Mhm.
you're
Right.
not doing your kids any justice.
You know, it's kind of like a catch-22 in ways too, because we're sitting there, we become enablers and we let them do what they want, and when they feel that their feelings are hurt, they want to be justified and be put on a platform so they can speak about it. And my thing is like, if I ever, like, I remember one time I told my dad I hated him, and he slapped me so hard I felt my teeth across the driveway. He hit me so damn hard, and I never once ever said the word hate again. That was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was enough to send a shock through my system to say, if you use that word, this is what's going to happen. Now,
Yeah, you better be ready for the repercussions.
oh yeah, and you threaten your kids now. They're calling DIFUS. They're calling the cops. They want everybody involved because they can't. Because one, they're in the wrong. So I used to tell my kids, because my oldest said that to me one time. He said, "I'm gonna call the cops." I said, "There, I'll tell you what. I'll call them for you." I said, "By a minute, I'm gonna call the ambulance too, because I'm gonna lay ass out. You're gonna bleed from the face. Every orifice in your face is gonna bleed." I said, "So we're gonna need an ambulance for you. We may need a morgue, so I might have called them on the phone too and have the come out and get you, because I'm
Stand
probably
by.
going to kill you." And he was hiding behind, and this is when him and his my ex were just separated, going through the divorce. He was standing behind his mom. I said, "Standing behind your mom, you think that's going to stop me? Because I'm gonna go through her, and if she gets in my way, I'm gonna throw her on one side of the driveway, and I'm gonna grab your ass, throw." And then the boyfriend was coming out of the backyard, and then when I'm done with you, I'm gonna whoop his ass, as I pointed right to his face. I said, he was drunk. I said,
Just because he's there.
yeah, I said, you might as well just turn around and go back in that backyard, dude. Because if you
Yeah,
come
just
out
go
here,
home.
it's only going to end bad for you. Because I haven't
Yeah.
been drinking, and I'm full of testosterone right now. I will kill you.
You're full of pent up 80s rage, is what you're
I
full
will
of.
kill a bitch. Like, seriously. And the new thing, speaking about parenting of today, is now kids are lazy, man. That's made society so lazy because they don't want to do what you tell them. You got to yell at them. I just told my oldest, if I come home,
I don't know if it's so much that they don't want to, that they're conditioned.
yeah, their
I
priorities.
mean,
is
they've been
different.
sitting in front of a computer for
A game
18
system,
years.
a game system, a TV, whatever it is they're sitting in front of. But I told my oldest,
Yeah.
I said, if I gave him one warning, I said, here's your warning. I'm going to come home. If I catch a mess in the sink after hours, or I catch your clothes on the floor and not in either in a hamper or put away, I'm going to take a picture of it. That's going to be your warning. When I come home, if it's not done, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to charge you a maid's fee of $25 every single time I have to pick something up. You're going to pay me $25. So I came home the other day. There was dishes in the sink from him cooking 8 o'clock at night. He's paying me $25. And my younger ones,
I like that.
they get 25 minutes off the Wi-Fi until they have jobs. So for every time I
Okay.
catch them out of their shit, I cut the Wi-Fi off to their TV so they can't play their games. I'm not playing anymore,
Yeah.
dude. I refuse to play this game.
No,
Because
no,
I
I
can't
don't-
stab
But
them.
that's
I want to, but I
that's
can't.
the
I mean,
that's the
seriously.
generation we grew up in, though. We don't play.
No.
You're given a warning, And if you don't heed that warning, there are consequences, albeit a slap to the back of the head or a punch to the throat. You're going to feel some sort of way when we reach that red light.
It's the it's the no
um,
return light.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We
I
reached that
remember-
red light.
Yeah, I remember, we had the landlines,
Yeah.
For those of you who are watching and don't know what a landline is, that's a phone that's attached to the wall that you cannot take with you.
Yeah, when you spin the dial, it goes
AKA house
one,
phone.
Right.
two,
Yeah.
three.
Right, exactly, right? So
And let me tell you,
Really?
those people with 3 zeros in their phone number were assholes.
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
seriously, right?
Because you had to sit
So-
there like da 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 da.
Yeah. And one
the hell?
long dial, and it was usually at the very end. You had to start
Oh,
all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
start all
right?
over again.
Yes.
Or wait, you know what
Yeah.
the funniest talk about the phone thing? Because my stepdaughter years ago, when I first met my wife, we were sitting in the kitchen. We're going to order food. So she tells Ashley, she says, Ash, I need you're going to order food. Call the pizza place, this is what we want. Okay. So we're sitting there at the table. She's calling. And all of a sudden you hear a ring. And she's on the phone and she's like, she makes this face and she hangs it up. We're like, what's the matter? She goes, I don't know how to call back. Something wrong. She called back twice. And then come to find out that she had a busy signal. So she gets off, she hangs the phone up again. She looks at us. We're like, what are you doing? Are you going to call her? Well, there was this making this funny noise. It was going bop, bop. What's that mean? We're like, what's that mean? We're like, that means it's busy. She says, well, don't they have another line? We're like, no, you got to call back till you get through. They never knew what the busy tone was because they never had to experience that. You know what I mean?
It's
Question for you guys. Do
Yeah.
you think that it's technology that's disabling the current generation
Yes.
to be
Yes.
functional people,
Absolutely.
or do you think
Yes.
it's parents enabling them?
No, I
Or
think
a
it's. I
combination
think
of
it
all.
started out. I think it started out as the parenting as enablers, and now the technology is even making it worse because they don't know how to suffer consequence. Because every time they mess something up, they Google the solution so they can either fix it before it hits the fan. They never know what it's like to answer or be accountable for anything that
They
they
don't
do
know the
wrong.
pain of a card catalog.
No,
No, they do not.
no, they don't understand that. Like my guy
No.
used
But
to work
wasn't
with.
it our generation that did that to our kids?
Probably.
I don't have kids, so
No,
I'm
I'll tell you
probably
what
going to
the-
get yelled at all over for
No,
that
let me
because I
just-
don't have kids.
I
and
don't
a
have
lot
kids
This is
of
going to be a good
opinions.
one. You're going to get all kinds of responses on this episode.
All kinds of hate.
Yeah,
Well,
throw it,
I don't
baby. I
have
love
kids
the hate.
either, right? I don't have kids either, but I did have stepchildren for a while. And I remember sitting at dinner one night and we were talking about cell phones or whatever. And one of my stepdaughters said to me, and I still shudder at this question. She said to me, what version of iPhone did you have growing up? And we were eating dinner. I dropped the fork on the plate
Wait,
and I'm like,
I got a
3 TV
response for this.
channels.
Hold on. You should have took it and smashed her in the eye. This version.
No.
Wow.
and I dropped the fork and I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what? Like, are you kidding? Are you serious with this question? Like, what are you talking about? They could not understand the fact that there were no phones when we grew up, except for the house phone, the landline, the one on the wall, right? And it's because they were born into this generation where phones are just, a dime a dozen. Your phone breaks, you go to the phone store, you get a new one. Well,
Question
whatever,
about
right?
that.
Yeah.
So they have technology at the tip of their fingers, but they're not doing anything with it. We knew how to change the oil in our car. We knew how to put on a timing belt. We knew not to drink dishwasher detergent or laundry detergent.
This is what it is. This is what it is what I figured. I do a lot anymore. I do less talking, more observing because apparently I blow a gasket too fast. So I have to observe more from what I was told. So I'm observing now.
Never would have guessed that about you,
Not
Dave.
me. Not
It's
at
that
all.
ball of 80s rage.
Oh, no. I'm nice. I'm goody two shoes. But
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm as calm as a pickle. Calm as a pickle.
You
Calm
are
as a
calm as a
pickle.
pickle. Dave is
Um,
calm as a pickle. Correct.
So what I've noticed with that is I lost my train of thought.
Today, Junior.
Can't come back to
Yeah,
it.
but
What were we
literally,
talking
like,
about? I lost my train of thought.
the
We were
kids.
talking about not using technology
Oh,
to
yeah.
benefit
So
their
here's what it
day-to-day
is.
lives.
Most of the time, like, we've all been around a while. We have a lot of knowledge, just like our parents did. We come with a lot of knowledge. I'm not saying it's all right or wrong. I'm just saying we have a lot in here. The issue comes to when they ask your opinion on something and you give it to them, or you're asked to help fix it because of what you know. They Google you 2 minutes after they ask you. So now I'm like, what are you Googling? Do you want me to help you or not? Because if you're not going to, why are you asking me? If you know where to find it and you know the answer, get it yourself. Stop asking me because you're driving me nuts.
But isn't there a whole generation that won't even attempt home repairs or car repairs or anything of that
No.
nature, even though they have access to knowledge that we didn't have?
No.
They can Google how to change a tire, but they won't do it.
No, they'll sit there
And I don't understand why.
I'll tell you why. Because I have three.
Because there's no ambition behind it, because
have-
they're lazy.
Thank you. I have 3 sons.
That's my ambition.
I have 3 sons, and my daughter is the most reliable when it comes to stuff. They'll stand there and stare at the situation for an hour. But yet, here's the kicker. If it was their game system, they would know how to fix it in seconds. But because it's a physical task that they have to do. Now, maybe, and listen, I'm a realist, so maybe that's a fault of mine. Maybe I wasn't a hard.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like, did you teach them that? Did you show them
I was
home
like
repairs?
I was like my dad. Like when I had a car issue, I would go outside, and anytime we worked on their cars, I would go, yo, let's go out and let's fix it. Like I just did. I changed a headlight the other day for my son. While I was doing it, I said, you're going to come out and help me do it because I'm not doing it myself. Like you're going to do this. I'm going to walk you through it. So it's not like the thing of it is like I think they're a victim of a lot of things. 1, they're a victim of technology. 2, that technology has leaked into other things like cars and stuff like that. So now it's hard to teach the things that our parents taught to us because cars are unworkable. Like my car, I can't even do an oil change on my truck anymore. I used to do all my oil changes.
But you can change a tire if you need to.
But I can change the tire. And that's like, it's common sense. Like my dad didn't teach me to change a tire. I did it on my own. Like I figured it was either that or I'd sit there and die or freeze to death in a car, or they'd be looking for me for months later if I'm still
7 hours for AAA.
Yeah, like
for a friend to come get you.
Like this shit now they're calling AAA to come get them, and I'm like, what? You can't change your own tire.
We had to sit around and wait until someone realized we were missing because we didn't have cell phones.
No,
correct.
No, or you had to make a collect call. And your parents.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many times you had to make a collect
I'm in the
call?
corner of 73 and Jackson Road. I need you to come get me.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds before they charge you. So you're like, hey, Mom, you got to come get me. And you click it. And if you didn't think they got it, you call back and try it again and got the rest of the message.
Yeah. We had very little technology growing up. There were no smartphones, which meant no social media, no constant internet access. Parents had very limited ways to check in on us, right? So we would leave, we'd, go out, whatever. And we didn't come home. You had to be within like earshot. Like you had to be able to hear your parents calling you for dinner, right? But today,
have any of that.
We didn't. But today, parents often monitor their kids through their phones with GPS tracking and texting and social media. And then comes in the cyberbullying because people think they're, keyboard warriors and they sit behind a keyboard and they think that they can say whatever they want to say to you without any accountability.
I love this cyberbullying.
Parents, I agree with that, but I also disagree because it's up to the parent to teach their kid that someone else's opinion doesn't actually matter.
That is true.
Like, why do you care about your likes or follows or retweets or whatever? It's all cyber. It's nothing real.
It doesn't even mean nothing. It's numbers. Like nobody's sitting there. If you got somebody that's sitting there studying that number, they got to get a life, dude. Like,
It's some fat 60-year-old man who's online pretending he's Britney anyhow. Like it's
yeah,
it's
he's
none of it's
Brittany, 600
real.
pounds with a mustache. Yeah, you're great. You
Oh
look,
my God.
you look
Exactly.
good, love.
In a wife
Keep
beater
shaking
with
that stuff.
Cheeto
You look great.
stains.
Is right. The problem is like parenting before, like in our age, it was very what I would call hands off, right?
Mhm.
We'd leave the house, we'd be gone for hours. They didn't know if we were dead or alive. Like we could have been dead in a dumpster and our parents would not know until like 3 days
Not for
later when they
days.
realize we're missing and
Yeah.
the cops show up at
Yeah.
the front door, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
That's true.
you know, we played outside and we rode our bikes and we hung out with the neighborhood kids and we were just doing very much outdoor things because that was our option, right? But today, I think it's definitely more supervised because there's that Life 360. Everyone's on Life 360. You can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
where
on
your
there.
people are any
I
given
don't even
time
know
of the
what that
day.
is.
It's
People
it's a
have
tracking app for you to track your kids to see where everybody's at.
yeah,
So it's
because
like the
all the kids
LoJack
have
that I
phones.
have on my dog.
Yeah, like so if somebody kidnaps your kid anymore these days, our kids are lazy and annoying as hell. They're only going to give them back anyway. They're only going to keep them for 30 seconds. I tell mine all the time,
Yes,
I wish somebody would kidnap you to see how asshole you are and kick you back out. Because I would if I was
right.
kidnapping your ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel
our
like
age was very much
You
survival
know,
of the fittest. You
this is
did dumb
probably,
shit and you suffered the
I don't
consequences.
know if Jay
And
is
you
gonna,
either learned or you didn't and ended up on the short bus.
well, here's the thing, right? In our
I
day,
was on a short bus my whole life.
we accepted the answer of because I said so. That was an answer,
Yeah, what?
right?
And also threat.
Can't say
Right.
that
It was an
now.
answer. Mom, can I go to the movies? Mom, can I go, can I go out, to McDonald's with my friends? Hey, Dad, can I go down to the shore for the weekend with my friends? No. Oh, come on. Why not? Because I said so. And that was the end of the
Yeah, it
conversation.
stopped.
That was
It
it.
stopped.
But
And then you
now,
can't, yeah, nope. Go
but
ahead.
now today,
Unless you were Colleen. That was not the end of the conversation.
Well, see, now we know where the root of the problem came in, Chris. Colleen changed his whole narrative.
exactly, right?
Because I
Today,
said so doesn't apply.
parents explain their decisions to the kids. They're more about like the emotional intelligence and having open communication and talking to their kid about everything. It's like, okay,
Which is all fine, but when you
that
do
is
it to the
fine,
point that you're disabling your children for
right?
Yeah,
basic
I want to know
social
something.
interaction,
I want to
Because
know
they
this.
need
where's that line?
Why do
they
I
need
have
to learn that no is a complete sentence.
exactly?
And you don't have to give a reason. No.
No, why do I?
No, you're not going to the shore with your friends. No, you're not going to the movies. No, we're not having this for dinner. Now, my parents, I know like in some families, when you sat at the dinner table, it was, you're going to sit at the table until you clean your plate, until you eat every last bit of food on there. And it could be something stupid like Brussels sprouts. Like who the hell eats
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts? And who
Yeah,
the hell
and you
eats
made
like,
sure if you didn't eat it, they'd force it down your throat and make you swallow it. Like, here's what when do I need to explain to you why I'm saying no? Like, who
Mhm.
changed that? Like, I don't owe you nothing. Like, you owe me.
Our household was very here's the dinner, and if you don't eat it, then I guess you're going hungry.
That's it.
I
Right.
mean,
Done.
that's your
Did
choice.
they hold on. Here's
No.
the kicker. Because you didn't, let's just say mom made meatloaf tonight. If you didn't like meatloaf, did they cook you a second dinner?
No.
Hell
no.
no.
And it was liver, by the way. They tried to
Thank
shove
you.
liver down
Liver
my
and onions.
throat.
My grandmother made it every other Sunday, and I used to eat it religiously. I
Yeah.
loved it. I
No,
grew to
I
love
didn't
it.
eat, but I didn't eat that dinner, but that meant I didn't eat.
Yeah,
And
you
I
starved.
learned consequences from
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
and I think that that's something that's sorely lacking today
Now,
is
I
learning
will
consequences.
correct. Now, I will say, right, when I was growing up, my mom would make dinner. My dad would come home from work. We'd sit down as a family, have dinner. My sister and my dad, and I think maybe my mom, they were more the salad people, right? Where
Oof.
my brother and I were more the vegetable people, right? But my mom never put anything on the table that we were not going to eat. No Brussels sprouts or anything like that. She would do the standard things that we like corn, carrots, string beans, mashed potatoes, um, you know, whatever. And once in a while, like if we didn't feel like eating, this was famous with my brother. It was you have to have one spoonful of each vegetable, right? Now he would eat the meatloaf, the spaghetti, the steak. He would eat all of that. But when it came to the vegetables, like he was more of a vegetable person, but it was, you have to have one spoonful of corn. You have to have one spoonful of carrots, whatever, right? And as long as
And
you
that was
did
a
that, that's
good
fine.
compromise.
Right. So they would compromise. Now me, I love vegetables. I'll take vegetables over salad any given day of the week. But my mom would put like,
Listen, I don't think I saw my first salad until I was in my 20s. I
don't
grew up in
really
an
salad-
Irish household, and it was meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big salad
ham,
person,
and
right?
cabbage, my
Yes.
favorite dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you
So,
say
you know, my
cabbage
mom
now,
would
they
put-
turn their faces up at the world. Like, cabbage?
Yeah.
I
don't
don't
think I had- Listen, Brussels sprouts were exotic to me.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It was meat and potatoes. That's what my parents grew up on.
Colleen,
They were
you're a
immigrants
freak,
to this
Colleen.
country, and they brought their palate with them, and that's
Right.
what we
Brussels
ate.
sprouts were
We
exotic
didn't
for you?
cater to our children. They
Right.
didn't cater to their children about our taste buds.
Now the other
No,
thing
they
is
didn't care
in
about your
relation,
taste buds. They don't care about
Now,
your
in
taste buds.
relation-
You eat what they cook, and that's the end of it.
Shit, that you were lucky they let you at the table.
Now,
Wait,
in
you weren't allowed to touch
relation-
the food till Dad sat down, or sit at the table unless Dad was sitting there. I couldn't serve
Okay,
Go
myself.
ahead, Chris.
Go ahead.
you done, Dave?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay. Now, in relation to what my mom made
Land
for
the
dinner,
plane, Chris.
okay, she would, I swear to God, Dave, you're going to be next. So my mom would always put stuff on the
gonna
table
land the
that
plane
she
on you.
knew that we were going to eat. But I also think that was a whole thing about not letting food go to waste either. You know what I mean? Because we were
It
going
was
to
the
eat the
80s.
corn. We were going to eat the green beans. We were going to eat the carrots. We were going to eat the mashed potatoes. We were going to eat the steak or the chicken or
Yeah.
whatever what she was
It was
making,
the
right?
80s. You couldn't let food go to waste because you
Right.
didn't have the money to do
No,
that.
and then if
Correct.
you
And
if you
I
had
had
leftovers,
seen-
and they told you, hey, by the way, whatever you don't eat tonight, you're eating tomorrow night.
Right.
Mhm.
And so now there's so many people who will be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make this spinach with garlic and mushrooms and onions and da 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 da. And like, I will try anything, right? So I'll take a spoonful. If I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it, right? But that just means that whole big thing that you cooked is going to go to waste. Are you going to throw it out? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We don't waste food in this house, I can tell you.
No.
If we bring leftovers home, 9 out of 10 times Joe's going to polish it off, right?
It's-
Which is totally fine. I'm all for that because
Yeah, it's
I'm
either a snack or you're bringing it for lunch the next day.
And
To tell you, my ex and I, we had a great system. I don't do leftovers, but he did.
yeah,
So
that's pretty
I
much
do
how I
leftovers
cook.
all the time.
I think a
love
lot of
leftovers.
households have that where
Yeah,
there's one person who's willing to be the
Right.
day after grazer.
right. And that's the thing, right? So Joe will eat leftovers until the cows come home. It depends on what it is, whether or not I'm going to have a leftover, right? But
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. Like, fine, whatever. But back then it was, you're going to buy the food that everyone in the household is going to eat. They're going to eat it. You don't waste it. Today it's like, oh, okay, well, why don't you have this and I'll make this for you and I'll make this for you and I'll make that for you because the other two don't eat
No.
whatever.
No.
No.
Can I
my
tell
kid,
you?
listen, my
can I
kids,
tell you
I could speak to
something
this.
that
I could speak to this. My kids, my oldest was never picky when he's younger. As he's gotten older, he's gotten very picky with his food. So I made chili. He didn't eat. I said, why ain't you eating chili? I don't like beans. I said, since when? Because I just thought I don't really care for beans. I'm like, so eat around them. I'm not making another meal, dude. You're either going to eat with us or you're not going to
Uh-huh.
eat. Or you can pick from
Yeah.
whatever you decide to buy. But I'm not cooking again. This is it. Eat or be quiet. And I had my youngest one time. I used to make this
you
one
can have
plate.
the bread.
Yeah. I made this one
There's
plate.
boxed cereal in the cabinet.
Yeah, or a cereal. But I made this plate of hamburger with stewed tomatoes or some other tomato I mixed in there, and it seasoned it all and blah blah blah, and added some other stuff to it. He ate everything. He got to tomatoes. I'm like, eat the tomatoes, dude. I don't like tomatoes, Dad. I'm like, you're going to eat them. You're going to eat it. Put it in your mouth right now and swallow it. He puts it in his mouth and he's like this. Do you know he spit it? He threw it up on the table. I couldn't. my parents would have whacked me off the table. It was so funny. I couldn't do nothing but laugh because I didn't know how else to respond. I was like, this poor kid,
Psychosomatic,
he's
right?
trying his
He
best
eats
to swallow
pizza.
this thing, and he won't
Does
do
he
it.
eat pizza?
He loves pizza. They all love pizza.
It's got tomatoes
I'm
on
like,
it.
it's the same stuff, you idiot. What is wrong with you? Like, what?
God.
Psychosomatic.
It-
So listen, I was at the grocery store, and by the way, most of my trauma stories happen at the grocery store. I just should stop going there. But there was a lady at the
This
grocery
episode
store.
brought to you by ShopRite. Go to ShopRite for all your
listen.
grocery needs.
Listen, the parking
That's
lot
getting edited
alone.
out.
If I
Imagine.
ever end up in prison, it's going to be because of ShopRite's parking lot.
Okay.
Just an FYI.
Noted.
So anyhow, I'm in the grocery store and this woman is talking to her, I would say 3, maybe 4-year-old. Tell mommy what you would like for dinner. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. Why don't you want that? Anyone with a lick of sense knows that a child that age isn't cognitively developed to be able to justify whys and
Wait, this
the
is what I
fact
do.
that I got
Hold
out
on.
of there
Colleen,
without
this is
an
what I do.
assault
I go like this.
charge is amazing.
Oh, hey, everybody. What is
The fact that I got out of there without an assault charge is just astounding.
I hate food
tell mommy
shopping.
why.
I hate it. I hate people. I can't
Tell
stand
mommy
it.
why. And that for me defined the difference between our parents and the new generation of parents. Now she was younger than us.
Yeah,
right?
well,
So I can't say that it was
I have
us,
a quick story to build
but she
off of
wasn't
that.
that much younger.
I have a quick story to build off of that because parents, even, and I hate to say this, but I coached wrestling for 20 years and I had parents who were roughly my age or younger. And the ones that were my age started to adapt to the new way of doing things, coddling the kids. Not that any of the parents that I've dealt with did this, but the one tournament that I was at, I was help running it because it was at our high school. And I had a parent that came from out of town who brought their child there to wrestle. The kid lost in the first round. So the tournament started at, say, 8 o'clock in the morning. The kid was done wrestling by 8:30, and he was going home. This thing lasted until 5 o'clock that night. The mom wanted to know what else the kid was supposed to do. I said, nothing. He's done for the day. You can go home. That's it. I paid $25 for him to come to wrestle for 1 minute, and he gets pinned and he's going
It's not
home.
my fault he sucks.
Wait. So I said, well, ma'am, I don't know what you want from him. Well, I think you should refund my money because I don't think 20 minutes is long enough for my son to get any experience in it. I'm like, well, first of all, if your son's not that good, he probably shouldn't be in this tournament. So if you came from a far, far away, I'm not giving you your money back. Is there something else I could do? What do you want, a trophy? Is that what you want?
I think you should practice with your son because he sucks.
Well, I gave her, to shut her up, I had to give her a trophy because she thought the kid deserved a trophy. And it was the only way to get her out of my face.
Now,
so
she thought she deserved a trophy.
Yeah,
It
for
had
taking the
nothing
kid
do
to the
with kid
tournament
at
that lasted 1
stage.
minute for
Yeah.
her kid.
It had nothing to do with the kid at that stage.
And that's going back. Let me think back. It was probably during the time where I didn't have a kid in the program because my 2 youngest ones were too young and my oldest didn't want to wrestle anymore. So I would say probably the kid was somewhere between the ages of 7 and 8. So my son now is 26. So we're looking at 21 years ago. So that kid's in his 20s now. And now that his kid is in his 20s, he is probably a janitor in a high school somewhere. Because I can guarantee you, he learned nothing from that experience. Nothing.
So,
No.
just to be clear, you think he's a janitor in a high school, but we're not talking like Will Hunting janitor where he's solving math problems.
No, he ain't solving no
No,
math
we're
problems. He's picking up somebody's toilet paper and dump on the floor. That's
We're
what he's
Hey,
talking-
so did Will
Mom's-
Hunting. Hey, Will Hunting was polishing the floors at Harvard, and his side job was figuring out math problems at Harvard elite
No,
people
we're
who want
we're
to-
we're
And
talking.
apparently
Mom
he
still
must have been
makes his
very
lunch.
popular because they made a movie about it.
Well,
That means
just
he had
saying.
some intelligence somewhere. This kid is
Listen,
buffing floors
The
because he's
parents that I
special.
grew
I don't
up
know.
with, my brother was on a travel hockey team. Like, I learned to drink with parental supervision. Like
Mhm.
that was okay. We had parties at the house where the rule was you handed over your car keys. It didn't matter that you were 17. It just mattered that you didn't kill anyone on your way home after you partied your
Right.
face off.
Right.
Like I remember my dad doing keg stands from a beer bowl in the kitchen sink. Right? Held
love it.
up by the hockey team.
Mhm.
See, now
I believe
see,
that.
that's cool parents. You know what my parents said? I came home
That
drunk
was
one
cool.
night.
Yeah, we had
I
cool
made a
parents, yeah.
beeline right from my room. I got up the steps. I started walking towards my bedroom. As I got you had to pass my mom and dad's room first before you got to my room. So I'm like home free. I get right to where their door is. I get past their door and I hear the door open. And I hear, yo, get your ass in here. I walk in, my dad smells my breath. He goes, he's been drinking. Get to your room. You're punished. You're not going anywhere for a month. And I was 19, 18, living at home. He took my keys from me. He's like, dude, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're done. That's it.
Because you're not mature enough. That's like the time my mom took my Q-tips. She took my Q-tips and told me I'm not mature enough to use Q-tips.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. I missed something or I have no clue what we're talking about. What do you do? What are you doing with Q-tips that your mother's taking these Q-tips away from you? Maybe I shouldn't
what sort
ask.
of witchcraft was going on that you needed that many?
Okay.
What are you lighting fires with the Q-tips?
No.
Baby torches.
No, okay,
With a rubber band, she's slinging them across the neighbor's front yard.
No, this is so stupid. This is so stupid, right?
Well, you brought it up. You better tell.
The story is so stupid, but it like kicked off this whole big like inside joke thing, right? So many moons ago when I was living at home, I had, I'd get ready for work or whatever in my bedroom, and the trash can, for whatever reason, was like across the room. So I would use a Q-tip to like fix my makeup or clean my ears, whatever I was using the Q-tip for, right? And then instead of walking over to the trash can, I would just throw it. Like, oh, and if I missed, I missed. And if it hit the trash can, it hit the trash can.
So you were slovenly is what you're saying.
Sat there on the floor with dirty stuff on it.
But wait.
You left it for her mother to pick up.
No, because when trash day, right now, trash day was like, I don't know, Tuesday. So I always knew.
She got a shovel for the Q-tips.
Right? But this one day, Dot went in my room to collect the trash. And she saw the Q-tips. And when I say like a lot of Q-tips, I literally mean like 3 max.
Yeah.
Right?
I was even going to give you 6.
Not even 6, but thank you, right?
I'll be honest with you. I had you pinned for like 30.
No. It was so minimal, right? So I come home from work and I'm like, because I just bought the big box, right? And they were sitting on my dresser and I come in and I'm like, where are my Q-tips? And my mom was so mad at me and she was like angry. And she goes, I took them. And I'm like, what? Why? And she goes, you're not mature enough to use Q-tips, and walked away. And I'm like, oh my God, did you literally just say you're not mature enough to use Q-tips? And that just turned into a whole big, you're not mature enough. Now, it could be anything. You're not mature. If you spill coffee, you're not mature enough to have coffee. If you trip, you're not mature enough to have legs.
So that's what
you're not mature enough to walk.
All that.
It doesn't matter. So everything is you're not mature enough. Insert whatever you want. Yeah, mine was you're not mature enough to use Q-tips.
Yeah, I get.
Question for you guys.
I get like this. Are you out of your mind? That's what I get. I go, yeah. At 52, I've lost
Yes.
my marbles.
Yes,
That
I
means
am.
I'm fully capable.
And I've been for a very, very long time.
Yeah. I tell them, and I'm fully capable of committing murder at this point in life, so I really don't care because I'm
Yes.
over the hill and I'm going to die soon anyway.
I just have to.
Bella.
There's the papa
She
son.
wanted to join the
Colleen?
podcast.
Colleen won't commit
So,
murder because
I gotta-
there are no Bellas in prison.
Yeah, so
Commit murder if someone touched Bella.
we're going to do our little roundup,
Correct.
but before we do the roundup, a fact of the day, did you know that lettuce is a family member of the sunflower?
No, I didn't know that.
I
Yes.
did not know that.
That's my
How
fact.
does that come into play?
It's just my fact of the day.
Given sunflower closer to corn,
No.
because
lettuce
of the long
is
stalks.
is a family member of the sunflower. And also to our sponsors, Axe and Arrow Beer at High Street in Glassboro. Also KMT Consultant Group on 900 Haddon Ave in Collingswood. And yours, Chris?
Freeze Company, located in Port Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Awesome. So
Yes.
to wrap this up, Colleen, do you want to give us your ending?
Yeah, I think that our parents' parenting style was very hands-off. We had a lot of independence. We learned how to soothe ourselves and fix problems ourselves, which are all very good things. But I have noticed in the younger generation, like we make fun of them for not being able to accomplish social tasks. But like with my friends' kids, they are very mature. They don't do the crazy things that we did. Like we did crazy things,
That's
things
because
that we probably could have died for.
because there were no phones, no proof.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how we got
Thank
away.
God.
Now there's
Thank
cameras
God
everywhere.
there was no
Ring
proof.
cameras.
Mhm.
There's this camera, that camera. The neighbor's got a camera. There's a camera in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's one in the toilet
So
seat. There's
I
one
think
everywhere.
that there's a trade-off between our parents' parenting style and the younger generation that's just in their 20s now, that grew up on technology.
Yeah.
I think that they may have lost out on some things, but maybe we don't give them enough credit for not doing the life-threatening shit that we did. Right? Like meeting people at a gas station that you've never known before and going to a hotel party.
Or how
Yeah.
about to Bill?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go into mine and then Chris, I'll let you finish up. So with that, you used to be able to walk. Like I remember walking to my mom's job, which was right down the street, like literally a half a mile by myself as 8 years old. You wouldn't think about letting your kid walk a mile to your mom's job or your job for that matter by himself at 8 years old now. Because times have changed. Parenting has changed. Kids have changed. I think where my biggest problem comes in, and Chris knows this because on a few of the podcasts we kind of touched on this stuff, is the fact I can't stand helicopter parents. I can't stand that. I can't stand the coddling. That drives me crazy. I won't coddle. I won't paint a picture that I don't believe is true. Like if you're going to ask me what my opinion is, then be sure that it's going to be true. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. So when they're ever asking me a question, hey, Dad, what do you think it is? I'm saying, well, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear or do you want me to tell you the truth? Because if you want me to tell you the truth, I will. But if you're asking me to tell you what you want to hear, I won't. So don't ask me. So unless you want to hear the truth, that's it. I'm not giving my opinion because I'm not going to get into this full flat out debate. I'm not going to get into an argument. I'm just not doing it anymore.
I know we're doing our wrap up, but I have a serious question for you. Do you think that it's a more dangerous world now than it was when we were younger?
Yes.
Yes, and no. And I'll tell you why I think no. There was a transition, I think. I think it was more dangerous when we were coming into the technology, but technology wasn't quite there yet. So it was easy to take, like, perfect example, trafficking kids. It was so easy to traffic kids at certain points, right? Now, with the way technology is, there's cameras everywhere. So you can catch a lot of stuff on camera and they find people. I think the transition period was very dangerous. But I think now that we're in this, it's still dangerous, but not as dangerous. And you didn't hear
Do
about
you think
this.
it's just that we didn't hear about it because we didn't have technology?
Yeah, it's possible.
Or
It's possible.
is the incidence actually higher?
Kind of went into our serial killer one. Like back then, serial killing happened all the time because people would disappear. You wouldn't know. Now people disappear. It's like all across the internet that day. It's like their faces being flashed across the world. So everybody and their mother already knows. So that's,
Chris, do you want to do
yeah,
your?
do yours. I did mine.
I think touching back on Colleen's question, yeah, I think it's I think the world has gotten to be a more dangerous place, and I think that is because of the technology. I think there's more people, there's a broader band to reach people today because you're on the internet and you don't know who's behind that keyboard, right? So you hear these stories about, oh, a 14-year-old kid, thought that they were talking to another 14-year-old kid, and it was like a 37-year-old man, and they left their house and went to meet them. Like, I just read an article yesterday that there was a girl missing from Tennessee, and she ended up in North Carolina because she was online and thought she was talking to somebody of her age and went to go meet this person. How this kid got out of the house and got so far is beyond me. I don't know. But these things happen all the time. But I also think because of technology, we do hear about it more, because every single story I read, it's like, okay, this person's missing. This person was kidnapped. This person was in an accident. This person, whatever the case is, it's like instant
There was a
gratification.
plane crash.
There was a plane crash.
Going to Florida. The entire family, including the dog.
Including
wait,
the
they
dog.
found the dog.
Not the dog.
They found the dog. They put a parachute on the dog and pushed him out and threw it, and he was good.
Correct.
Priorities.
Hey, man, whatever goes first. That's what I say. Sorry.
But I think parents are very lax today because, all the kids are doing it. So, hey, whatever. But, I think there's also more of that helicopter parent in a way, because you're tracking your kid on like 360. You
Yeah.
have Apple AirTags. You can put an Apple AirTag. I mean, I have an Apple AirTag in my car, and that is because if I ever go downtown and my car gets carjacked, or if my car gets stolen, whatever, at least I'll know where the car is.
So, Chris, are you saying that you think that they're tracking them physically, but not giving them the tools mentally to deal with life online?
Yes.
To know that you don't communicate with someone and assume they're telling the truth.
Yes, because you're losing that personal connection, right? Because you're talking to your friends online, you're talking to your friends over a phone, you're texting, you're Snapchatting, whatever it is. You're not doing the face-to-face, go out and ride your bikes, go out and play, go out and build a sandcastle, go out and build in the woods and build a fort, like whatever. And that's what we all did. So we have those social skills where kids today are just sitting behind a screen, whether it be a phone, a computer, an iPad, whatever it is. And that's how they're communicating. They're not having that personal touch about it,
and
I think that's where the problem lies. And I think parents, but wait, I just want to say, I think because the kids are sitting behind the screen and not in person with the outside world, I think that's where they become a little more lax. My kid's safe. My kid's sitting in the office on a computer. I'm looking right at them. They're fine. No, they're talking to friggin', schmo.
60-year-old mom in a white beater with Cheetos.
They're talking to Uncle Freddie on the other side.
Right, exactly. And
good old
and
Uncle Freddie. Where they call him in his development Uncle Bad Touch. Just saying. But anyway, to kind of build off on that, I had my oldest say to me.
Yeah, let's build off Uncle Freddie, Mr. Bad Touch.
I had my oldest say to me, well, Dad, I said, why don't you go out? Like, get with your friends, go out, hang out. Why do you got to be home all the time? I said, you're never going to meet a woman this way. I'll meet them when I'm ready to meet them. I'm like, dude, listen, all you could do is pray for them. All I do is pray for them.
Do you think our grandparents thought of us what we think of the 20-year-olds today?
Yeah.
Probably.
In hindsight, that generation and what they, how they looked at us, because you could just visualize the comments that they used to make back in the day when we were that age. And I see those same comments coming out of my parents' mouth now about my kids. They're like,
Well, I mean, it's my mom grew up on a farm, and they slaughtered their own pigs and killed their
Yeah,
own chickens,
I
and
get it.
we were
And I didn't
soft
grow up on a farm.
because we had McDonald's. That
Right.
we didn't have to do physical labor. We didn't have to grow our own food.
No.
And that was a big deal.
And my
you
dad
know?
used to farm. My
So-
dad used to farm in the backyard. He had his own garden every year, and then he had chickens and ducks. And he used to have chickens every year. And then when they got old enough, we killed them and ate them.
So do you think it's more a generational thing, or do you think it's an actual deficit in the younger generation?
I think it's.
Do you think it's just our perception, or is it a real tangible thing?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's
too.
right. Without you scientifically splitting it down and putting groups into groups and watching them, for me, just watching what goes on, it's both. It's a little bit of both.
I think if they rolled back on the entitlement and the you have to validate and sidestep my feelings, then I think that they could be a phenomenal generation.
Mm.
But until they stop expecting the world to cater to them, they're not going to.
No. And it
Because
never,
they're all dumb.
and we got to end it on that. So, Chris, go ahead, because the producer, he's going to be like looking at this, going, "Yeah, we were ending this."
Yeah. So, if you guys have any thoughts or comments about your parenting style versus how you were raised, or how you're raising your own children, or what, even if you're not a parent, what you think about parenting styles, please drop us a line. And on that happy note, thank you for joining us for another episode of Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Until next time, stay safe, keep it real, and remember who the hell you are.
Is go Phils.
Was.
Yeah, remember who you is.
Thanks for listening to the show. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next time on Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Real talk, real people. New episodes drop every week, so hit follow, leave a review, and tell your messiest friend to listen too. You know the one I'm talking about. Until next time, keep it real, keep it loud, and keep doing all the things.